Today I'd like to change the upper spool on this Petzl Stop. Now, the Petzl Stop is a caving descender. Here is the diagram for how to, lace the device with the rope. This is the up rope. It goes up to the anchor. Then it goes down below the bottom spool, up around the top spool, and out the side. So that would be around here, up through here, around between the spool and the pin, and then out to the side where you'd have a braking carabiner and your braking hand. This is the upper spool. Petzl calls them the pulley. I don't like calling them the pulley because they don't rotate like pulleys. And we're going to replace it with this. This is not worn out all the way, but it is worn for an 11mm rope. You'll see that the descender says it'll take, hope you can read that, a 9 to 12mm rope. You know, here's the rope symbol, 9, 12. Ropes greater than 9, less than 12. And we've been using this on 11mm rope, and so the groove is worn wide. And so when we go to put this on, go to rig in on a 9mm rope, the rope is so small, it just sits in the little groove there, and just fly on the rope. There's not much friction at all. So we want to put this on there. The narrow groove offers more friction for the 9mm rope. There is a pressed-in pin at the bottom. It goes like this. It goes like this on the device. There's a pressed-in pin, and you can see that there's the pressed-in. I hope you can see. Tough to see. Pressed-in pin right in there. And as the rope comes around this corner, it takes a lot of the friction. Now, stops when they're new and not broken in are really, really jerky. And also, even when they're broken in with the wrong braking carabiner, they're just really tough to use. For reference, the nuts on this side of the descender are 14mm, and the bolts here are 13mm. So I've already broken the nuts loose. This is a nut with a little sleeve on it, a little collar, I guess. And that little small piece mates up against the pulley itself. Once we flip it over here, I've already also loosened this. So go ahead and take that out. You can replace the bottom spool also, the bottom pulley. It's got the handle on there. I've never actually replaced one. I'd be inclined, if this is aluminum with that pressed-in pin. You can see that pressed-in pin right there. The bottom spool or pulley or whatever is all steel. It takes the bulk of the weight, the bulk of the wear. And if I had worn that out down into these little fins in there, I'd probably just inclined to replace the whole device. Okay, so you can see how this pulley has a wide groove machined into it that grabs onto the body of the stop. So it's real easy. There's our pin again, and that groove locates us on the device. And then so all we do is flip it over, put the bolt back through it. Now typically when I'm just doing this real quick for the video, typically when I do this, I take the whole thing apart and I either I clean all the pieces by hand, or I stick them in a little bath, a light solution bath, or these bolts are really on there from the factory. I don't know the torque specifications. I don't think Petzl provides that in their manual, but they're on there really, really tight. So I typically clean it. For general cleaning, I put it in the dishwasher. When I take it apart, I clean everything by hand typically, or put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Ultrasonic cleaner is my favorite way to clean little parts like this. Go ahead and put this little sleeve nut back on. And that goes on back with the 14mm wrench. And there we go. Back together, okay? Now I'll probably go back in and re-torque both these off camera. One thing to note is that here's how this is on the device. There's the pressed-in pin there. This isn't all that worn out. I'll keep this and use it when I go back and on some fatter ropes again. But this groove can get worn down into these threads. And so let's say the inside surface of the pulley is there where it mates against the rope. When that gets worn away, you're down into the threads, then you're wearing into the actual bolt itself. And then this thing is totally trashed, okay? These things last a long time, thousands and thousands of rope feet. They typically only wear out when you're on the grittiest, nastiest ropes. And even then it takes a fair bit of repelling on those ropes. So I hope that helps you get to know your stop a little bit better.